Chapter 4. In Chapter 4, I'm going to continue with some ideas about how to get your fingers moving, and I've called it Exercises 2, Finger Independence and Rhythmic Coordination. This is quite a tricky chapter in that it does involve a lot of finger work, so I shall show you what I mean. In the C major hand position, for example, you can hold a number of fingers while trying to move the others. So I'm going to hold my thumb, my second finger, my fifth finger. I'm going to move finger 3 and finger 4 while holding them down. Now, I have seen some people who say just hold them loosely on the keys. I find this virtually impossible, so I prefer to just press them down, a bit of force. So we're working 3 and 4. And the idea is to work them without moving the rest of the fingers. Don't let them release. And again, you can make up your own exercises. You can just start, you can make it from crotchets to triplet crotchets. You can go into quavers, triplet quavers, semi-quavers, triplet semi-quavers, etc. Probably after that speed it starts to get a little bit tricky, and also you might find a lot of tension in your arm. Anytime you get tension, just let it drop, just let it drop. Do not continue. There's no point in doing anything if it hurts. So my advice is start slowly and just pace yourself and see how you get on. Don't push yourself too much. You're much better off on the slower speed and getting your fingers moving. And you can do that with any combination of fingers. So let's say I'm going to hold down fingers 3, 4 and 5 and work fingers 1 and 2. They're very, very easy. That's probably the best one to start with if you haven't done this before. Harder ones are the ones that use these fingers at the end of your hand. So let's say I hold down 1, 2 and 4 and try and move the 3rd and the 5th finger. A lot of people find their 4th finger pops up when they do this. You can also try 4 and 5. And you can do the same thing with the left hand. With the left hand, again, it's the same fingers that need working. So I'm going to go in with the easy fingers first. So I'm just going to work 1 and 2. Then I might decide to do that after a while, and then I might work on fingers 3 and 5. So I hold down 1, 2, 4. And it's quite tricky. I'm going to try and do that with 2 hands. It really is not something you have to worry about doing two-handed. One-handed is perfectly good. It really focuses your mind. So I'm going to hold down thumbs, second fingers, and I'm going to hold down the 4th finger. And I'm going to work fingers 3 and 5. And I would say this is really tricky because you've got 2 hands at the same time. So my advice is definitely hands separately, at least to start with. I've given some ideas here, so I'm just going to play what I've written now, holding down 1, 2 and 5, and I'm working 3 and 4. I start with some crotchets, and that's repeated. Going into quavers with a bit of a rhythm at the end, so it's going to go. Again, you can see I didn't actually manage to keep the 3rd finger. I've pushed it down too long. So I'm going to just do that again. Okay, so it's very tricky. I have to practice that myself. And again, in the left hand, that would be fingers. I put it actually here. So you're using your 5th finger on E, so I can work those. It's quite a lot easier, that one. That's so you can get the same notes playing at the same time. You could try it in the C major position, and you get some harmony, so you'd get this at the same time. very tricky. The next exercise is just a variation of that, so I'll just show you the notes. So again, you're holding those down. And then I've left you a space to invent your own, and you can do something there. But the idea, and this is the great thing about inventing your own patterns, is literally you're holding 3 notes and just working 2 other fingers. It could be in C, it could be in the D major position, it could be in an F position. It doesn't really matter. But it usually gets your fingers much more able to move independently instead of the movement coming more from the hand. So you get a lot more. You see my fingers are actually doing quite a lot of work themselves rather than the actual arm. And that will help. And we've got some rhythmic challenges. So the next piece of music is a 3/4 feel, and that sounds like this. And that's very similar to the Return to Forever tune written by Chick Corea. I've now got a samba pattern to show you. And again, that's very similar to a pattern that's in Chick Corea's Return to Forever. Next is a pattern in 9/8, and this is very similar to another composition. So I'll just play it first. So that's very similar to John Taylor's composition Adios Ione. I'm going to play a 5/4 pattern now. That's very similar to Dave Brubeck's Take 5. And the challenge here is maybe to see if you can improvise at the same time in the right hand. So I'm going to attempt that. Occasionally I lose the pattern, but I always keep the beat going, and I think that's the secret. If you get the pattern slightly different or slightly, it's not wrong, it's just a variation of the original pattern, that's fine. It's when you lose the beat that it doesn't sound so convincing. So why are we doing these kind of things? Well, playing the piano is all about coordination. You've got to have independence between the hand. When you're improvising, you want the left hand to be able to play certain things. You might play solo piano, you might want to accompany yourself with patterns in the left hand. And I think these are really fun. So you could practice the patterns, then you could start improvising. So for instance, and so on. It gives you a lot of challenges, a lot of rhythmic challenges, and also it's very fun. So you should enjoy this particular chapter on exercises.